welcome to my channel. My name is Alyssa Coleman, and today I am going to tell you why I was grounded for 6 months in high school. Before you watch this video, make sure to like this video. Well, I mean, before you watch it, like it. It might be but who knows. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, add me on Snapchat, the links are down below. So recently, Sister James Charles has been canceled, as we can say, for, you know, getting exposed for doing some not so great things. And I just want to tell you why I essentially canceled myself in high school for 6 months. Nothing as extreme as James, but to me at the time, it was pretty serious, enough to get grounded for 6 months. So, I guess let's just start from the beginning. I was 14. Was I 14? No, I was 15. I had just turned 15 because this was in December. So when I was in high school, I lived in New Jersey. And I was a cheerleader for basketball. And my parents, every Christmas time, would go to NYC because it was only like 3 hours from where I lived. And they were gonna go to New York City, but I had a basketball game that I had to cheer at. And so I told my parents, I was like, hey, I really wanna stay home. I love New York City, don't get me wrong, but I don't wanna make my coaches upset, and I was a flyer, so it was kind of a big deal. I was like, I need to stay for this game, and you guys go ahead, I'll be fine, but I really wanna do this because I don't wanna let the team down. And they're like, are you sure? And I said, yeah, I'm positive. And they're like, okay, well, you know, you can have one of your girlfriends sleep over because we won't be back till late. And I was like, oh, perfect. Like, I'll just invite one of the cheerleaders to my house to sleep over. So my parents leave, they go to New York, and I go to the game, I cheer and whatever. So I invited this girl from the cheerleading team, and her name was Nicole. And I was like, hey, you want to sleep over? Like, my parents won't be home. I'm bored, and I just want to have someone, you know, to hang out with. And this was a new girl. I've never hung out with this girl really before, ever, but she really wanted to hang out. She was like, oh, like, your parents aren't gonna be home, like, that's so cool, like, I'll definitely come sleep over, like, we'll have a great time. I never really hung out with the girl, but she was on my team, so I was like, you know, might as well branch out and hang out with new people, try to become social and whatnot. And she shows up, I'm home alone, her parents drop her off, and at first, you know, we were just hanging out, I don't know, whatever 15-year-olds did in 2012. We were on her Mac and, you know, the filters for the photo booth or whatever. We were just playing with that, and she goes, do you have orange juice? I was like, yeah, we always have orange juice. It's in the fridge. And so she pulls out her backpack. She gets the orange juice, pulls out her backpack, and in her backpack were 5 Grey Goose shooters. And I, like, looked at her. Granted, I'm 15, and she's a year younger than me, so she's a freshman. I was a sophomore in high school at this time. She was a freshman. Pulls out these shooters and was like, let's have a good time. And I, myself, had never drank before, and I was just kind of, like, shocked because I wanted to be like, no, like, I don't know, I was dumb. Everyone's been 15. Unless you are 15, then don't be dumb. But I was like, sure, you know, I'll have one of those shooters. And so we had orange juice, and we started pouring the Grey Goose in the orange juice. And I drank a whole thing. And I was like, you know what, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm at my house, and my parents are coming home. Why is this a good idea? 15-year-old me trying to be cool thought it was fun and a great idea. And so we drank the Grey Goose or whatever, and she, you know, has like 2 more, like this little tank. She was smaller than me, and at the time I was probably like 90 pounds. She was like, do you have any friends like we can hang out with? Like, let's invite people over. And I was like, oh, hell no, we're not having a house party. That is not happening. But I did know a kid named Brian who lived behind me, and I was like, well, we could go to Brian's house. And Nicole was like, oh yeah, I know who that is. Sure, let's do it, because he was in my grade. And so I text Brian, I'm like, hey, Nicole's over, we're bored, can we come hang out? He was like, sure. And so we walk over to his house, and he had 4 Locos. And he was like, yeah, we're just hanging out, we're just drinking. And it was him and these siblings, a brother and a sister, who were twins. I think they were twins. Were they twins? I don't know. And so it was him and the 2 twins, or sisters, or siblings, cousins, I don't know. I could care less. And they were drinking Four Locos. And he's like, here, like, drink some. It's so good. Like, you don't even know there's alcohol in it. And so I drank like a fourth of a Four Loko, which was too much for me to begin with. I was probably drunk by then because I'd never drank before. And I don't remember much, obviously. And so I got real drunk off of Four Loko, being a classy at 15. And then I was really drunk and he had a handle of Kettle One. And so Brian's like, here, drink some of this, drink some of this. And I thought it was water. For some reason, I thought it was water. And I was just drinking Kettle One straight out of a cup. And he was like, oh man, you're not well. And so he gives me actual water, like an actual cup of water. And he's like, this is water, drink it. And I get the cup of water and I kick it. And I'm like, get this out of my face. And I pick up the cup of Kettle One and I'm just like drinking it, sitting on the floor. Like, granted, I kicked this water cup all over their kitchen floor. I'm sitting on the floor and I have a cup of Kettle One and I'm drinking it. After I just had Grey Goose and a Four Loko, and I'm just drinking Kettle One. And to this day, I cannot drink Kettle One. But I got really drunk somehow. And I had my phone, my like, whatever phone was cool in 2012. And I start drunk texting people. And it's like all of these seniors at the time, and they were like, yo, you need to like go to bed, you need to stop drinking. I'm like, oh my God, where are you? Like, I don't know. I just remember I was in a tank top and shorts. And like I said, this is in December because it's around Christmas time. And he lived in my backyard. So if you're like looking out my back porch, you could see their house. Just grass. There was just grass in between us. So I crawled to my house in shorts and a tank top to get home. And I don't know how, like, I lived in military housing. Like, we had security and we had a bunch of neighbors. I'm not sure how no one realized that drunk 15-year-old me was dead crawling across the ground drunk. But, you know, that's what happened. And so I get into my house and they're trying to feed me bread. The twins, the girl and the boy, are trying to feed me bread. And I don't really know what happened. The friend Nicole was, you know, perfectly fine. She's used to this. She's a freshman. She was one of those kind of people, though, that, like, she had an older sister that probably, like, had friends provide alcohol for them or whatever, and she was, like, a veteran drinker at the ripe age of 14 in high school, and I, myself, was not. And so I crawled up the stairs, and she's just, you know, having a good time. She put my sweatshirt on. She's just chilling, drunk, and I start dying, pretty much. I threw the bread in the toilet, and then I crawled into bed and started throwing up all over myself. Yay, drinking so great! Yeah, so I'm just throwing up, and my bed was against the wall, so I'm like laying like this, like throwing up in the crevice of the bed. And so the twins find a towel in my bathroom. They shove a towel in the crevice, and so I'm just throwing up on this towel, knowing damn well my parents are gonna come home. And it's funny though, because I think about this, before I was crawling back home really drunk, I told my friend, I was like, hey, this isn't a good idea. Like, I need to go home and I need to eat. And I told her, I was like, I want to eat soup. Like, I want to go home, I want to eat. And she kept being like, no, it's the great time. Like, we're having so much fun. And I was trying to be cool, and I was like, okay, let's continue. And so I think, like, if I would have gone home when I said, like, I needed to go home and eat, I probably would have been fine. Like, I probably would have been sick a little bit, but I would not have been blacked out drunk at the age of 15. And so Nicole, little bitch, she passes out on our stairs at our house. I'm in my bed with throw up all over me, and she's on the stairs. And my parents get home at, I don't even know, probably 11, maybe even earlier than that, and we're dead. Imagine being a parent and having a sweet, innocent, beautiful child like me. No, I'm just kidding. And you come home, there's bread in the toilet, there's a drunk little Nicole on the stairs, and then there's me covered in vomit in my bed at 15. My parents were pissed. Pissed, 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 pissed. I don't think I've ever seen my parents more mad. Actually, I haven't. That's a whole nother story time. But to begin with, that's the maddest I've ever seen them be at me. And so they snatch up little Nicole by the sweatshirt. Like, when I say snatched up, like, I'm pretty sure, like, my mom, like, snatched her fuck up and, like, was like, we're getting out. Took off my hoodie, because she knew it was my hoodie. Took the hoodie off of her and was like, I'm calling your parents, you're going home. So she got Nicole's phone, because I guess, like, she was probably really drunk, but she wasn't blacked out, passed out like I was. She gets her phone and she calls her parents, and my mom's like, hey, your kid's drunk, come pick her up. We don't want her here, she's trash. So the parents come, they pick her up, and they're like, we're sorry, like, it was literally no big deal to them. It was a normal occurrence for them. Meanwhile, my mom comes though, the stairs, and is like, ah! No, just kidding, she didn't beat me up or anything. But she was pissed, and so I go into the bathroom, and I'm like, bleh, like throwing up. It was horrible, and my mom took my phone, and I remember that she was like going through texts, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm texting all these senior boys. I probably didn't say anything because I was drunk and nothing was making any sense. And she took my phone, and I woke up, I don't really remember, you know, I think I slept in the bathroom. Like, I think she was just like, bye, have fun sleeping on the floor, this is what you get kind of thing. And I mean, I totally deserved it. And so I wake up the next morning feeling fantastic. You know, we've all been there. But if you've been drinking and you wake up the next morning and you feel like dog crap, do you know what my parents did? My dad's like, good morning, gave me a sponge and some soap and the trash can, the kitchen trash can. And he goes, go clean it. So I had to take the kitchen trash can outside of my backyard with a sponge and some dish soap and the hose outside, and I had to wipe that baby down, clean it inside out, flip it over, the lid, all of it, while I'm gagging. I'm like, because I'm hungover at 15, oh my god. And so I'm cleaning that kitchen trash can and I'm gagging outside, almost throwing up. But they were not done. They were not done yet, no. They said, pick up the dog poop. And at the time, we had an English Mastiff, and his poops were like, I'm literally not kidding, they were at least this big. And they're like, pick it all up. And so grocery bags just, like picking up mounds of poop. Oh my god, they were so mad at me. And I get it, like I really understand. And I was like, oh mom, like where's my phone? And she was like, you think you're gonna get your phone back? Like, you really think you're gonna get your phone back? Nope. I had my phone taken for 6 months. 6 months. I had to go to cheerleading practice and I had to use other people's phones, or I just had to, you know, wait until someone would come and pick me up or just take the bus. I couldn't talk to my friends. I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have Facebook. I didn't have anything at all. Took my phone for 6 months. And I got my phone on like occasions, like the Taylor Swift video. If you haven't seen that, I'll put the link down below. I met Taylor Swift and I begged my mom, please let me have my phone. And I'm pretty sure I met Taylor Swift in December as well. It might have been January. So it was literally like 2 weeks after it happened. And I'm like, please give me my phone, I met Taylor Swift. But yeah, I had my phone taken away for 6 months. Couldn't talk to anyone. And everyone, I just like kind of fell off the face of the earth. Everyone's like, oh, you know, well, what's Alyssa doing? Where is she? Why isn't she texting back? Why don't she hang out? Oh, no, because I was on house arrest without a phone for 6 months for being drunk and stupid at 15, drinking 4 Locos and Kettle One and Grey Goose. Ooh, the Kettle One and the Grey Goose is kind of bougie. Like, the 4 Loko is not, but, oh, man. That is why. You guys want to know, like, why I was grounded for 6 months? Like, I'm trying to air out myself. Like, I'm not a bad person. I mean, everyone probably drinks in high school at one point or the other, but blacking out at 15, wearing a tank top and shorts, crawling across the grass in December. It was probably 30 degrees outside, blacking out, throwing some toast in the toilet, throwing up all over myself, and my mom coming home. I knew my parents were coming home. Why was I so dumb? Like, I knew they were coming home. I knew they were coming home that night, and that was not my intentions at all. My mom's like, you just wanted to stay here so you could get drunk and party. No, I really, like, wanted to stay to do the routine for cheerleading. I just got caught up in Nicole being the kind of person she is, and me being a impressionable person, and it was not worth it. Getting drunk was not worth it, I'm gonna let you know right now. Looking back on that, I was so dumb. That story wasn't that great, but I mean, that is what happened. Alright, well, if you liked that video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and if you're already subscribed, please make sure you turn the notification bell on. I'm gonna try to post more than once a month, okay? So turn the bell on so you can get notifications. Anyway, follow me, do what you need to do. I will see you again, hopefully soon, with a Zaful bikini haul. Okay, love you guys.